And today I will be making bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. Let's get started. We'll start by putting the bacon, which is in a foil-lined pan, into a cold oven. Once it's in the oven, we'll preheat it to 400 degrees. For 20 minutes. Next, we'll take a large mixing bowl and combine 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now, while I'm quickly mixing them, the flour provides structure, the baking powder is a leavening agent which will help the dough rise, and the salt is for flavor. Once it's whisked, it should look something like this. Next, we're going to take 5 tablespoons of cooled butter, pour them in. Don't worry, my hands are clean. And we're going to cut them in with a pastry blender. Once the butter's been cut in, it should look like this, with larger particles of butter visible. Next, we're going to take 2/3 of a cup of milk and pour it in. And then you will stir it in with a fork. Once you've mixed in the milk with a fork, it should look something like this. Then you're ready to form it into a ball. Once you form the dough into a ball, it should look something like this. The next step is to take your dough ball and put it on a floured cutting board. Don't forget to have a damp cloth under it so when you use the rolling pin, it doesn't slide around. So we're going to knead this dough about 15 times. The purpose of kneading is to activate the gluten. Once you're done kneading, you're going to take a rolling pin and start to roll it out. You're going to want them to be the width of 3/4 of an inch. Don't forget to flour your rolling pin. Once you've rolled out your dough, it should look something like this. Now, traditionally, your next step would be to take a biscuit cutter and start to cut out your biscuit shapes. But we don't have a biscuit cutter, so I am using a stemless wine glass. So you're going to start to cut out your biscuit shapes, and you can just set them aside for right now. And one misconception is that once you've cut all of them that you can get out of this dough, you have to get rid of this dough. But actually, you can roll it back up, roll it out, and make more biscuits. And once you have all your biscuits cut that you would like, you will put them in an ungreased pan. My bacon is nice and crispy and ready to come out of the oven. I've transferred the bacon to a paper towel lined pan in order to get rid of the excess grease. Now that my bacon's done, it's time for the biscuits to go in for 12 to 14 minutes. Now onto the eggs. Now traditionally in a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit you would use scrambled eggs, but I prefer fried eggs, so we'll be making fried eggs today for my recipe. Also, before you put it into the skillet, make sure you crack it into a custard cup to prevent the eggshells from being in your final. Next, you need to pour the egg in the skillet. Now usually you would grease the skillet beforehand with butter, but this is a non-stick pan, so the greasing is not necessary. Now you're going to want to put it on medium heat, and then from there you'll pour the egg in, and you'll be able to tell when it's done when this outer ring here is a milky white color. Once the fried egg is finished, it should look like this. Now my biscuits are done, and they're golden brown. Everything is finished and ready to be put together. Here's the finished product. Enjoy.